Good afternoon. It's 3 o'clock and I'm Bianca Cappuccina with your headlines from Solent Journalism. The old Toys R Us building in Southampton has now been converted into a storage center for all the donations given to the Polish club. These will then be sorted and sent out by the club to Poland and Ukraine in order to help the refugees on the front line. Our correspondent, Chloe Nowicki, has the latest on the story.
I'm inside the old Toys R Us store that is now transformed into a storage place for Ukrainian donations. As you can see behind me, volunteers are organizing and packing donations to send them to Poland and Ukraine. Katarzyna Davenport explained what the money raised in the campaign Will Help Ukraine was used for and will be used for in the future.
Last time when I checked, it was over 15,000 on the Just Giving page, and some of those monies we're using basically to give for the fuel for the drivers. So the drivers, they provide a van and their time, but obviously to fuel it, to cover the cost of ferry or a tunnel. That's what we're using the money for. But also the aim is to actually, once the donations stop coming, let's say, then we can actually use this money to buy directly things in Poland or Ukraine to make sure that people, they're still getting something out of this.
She continued to explain the need for help and when the public can come in to volunteer.
We will need more volunteers to come and help us to sorting the things. So that is on between Wednesday and Saturday, but there are slightly different times. So Wednesday is 5 to 7, Thursday is 1 to 7, Friday is 4:30 to 7, and then Saturday is between 10 to 3. And then definitely we need a lot of volunteers to come and help us to sorting, to go through the obviously lot that's been donated.
Mike and Melanie, two volunteers, explain why they decided to help.
I'm driven by outrage is my answer. I can't believe the things I'm watching on television, and I come down because I can do something, not much, but something.
Because it's okay sitting at home talking about it. I'm more like, okay, this is happening, there's a need, what can we do? And this is basically how it started, and it's continued since then. And it's just helping people as much as we can to get what they need. So when they arrive in the UK especially, we've got now the resources going out to the Ukraine and Poland and everywhere to support people, but also people coming in to Southampton. We're now supporting a network here to then help provide people when they arrive too.
Mike Jukes from the Southampton City Council and Phil Tarrant from Electrical Management share what they have done to help make the old Toys R Us building functional for the storage of donations.
Where we actually got the building up and running with all of the lighting and everything to make it sort of functional and operational, for all of this to be enabled and stored as you see it now. So we're just offering some ongoing sort of support, working with Cassia and Paulina to help on bits where we can, just through the good cause, and trying to make a difference and do that extra little bit.
The guys that were on site actually carrying out the installation really put their heart and soul into it when they were here, and they worked on in the evenings to get it all up and running with the short target time that we had to reach. So, I think everybody's put a fair amount into it so far anyway.
More donations are welcome, especially non-perishable foods such as pasta, rice, but also protein cans with meat or fish. Baby items like nappies, bottle and baby food are needed. Non-prescription medications such as paracetamol, ibuprofen, plasters and bandage are welcomed. Other items like sleeping bags, yoga mat, batteries, torches and toiletry are also needed. Chloe Nowicki for Solent Journalism.
The Polish club, however, is not the only part of the community supporting Ukraine in such desperate times. On Saturday, Southampton's Ukulele Jam hosted an event at Guildhall Square to raise money for the relief efforts. Over 50 members of the group performed there on the day, along with volunteer musicians and singers. Our reporter, David Mitchell, went to the ukulele play to bring us more on the story.
David Mitchell here for Solent Journalism, and I'm here in the cultural quarter of Southampton and Guildhall Square, where behind me Southampton's famed ukulele jam are playing to raise money to support the effort
McAllister and I play with Southampton Ukulele Jam, and we've been here in Guildhall Square playing music to raise money for the Red Cross Ukraine humanitarian appeal. Yeah, we've looked like so many people across the world, we feel really quite helpless with what's going on and not sure what we can do to help, so it felt like we should probably do what we do best, which is playing good songs moderately well on tiny toy instruments to try and raise some money. It's the best that we can do at this point. I'm amazed at how many people came and played with us. We're an absolute chaotic bunch of people. We meet every fortnight in the 1865 and sing songs together, but come together to try and do good things for good causes. So that's what we're doing here today. Post some links on our Facebook page and our Twitter and our social medias that does a direct link that you can make a donation. Please do. Every small amount of money will make a huge difference. I think it's also important to note that across Southampton we're going to be having music for Ukraine over the next month or so. Venues all across Southampton will be putting on gigs. I'm lucky enough to be playing on April the 2nd with another band that I play with down at God's House Tower. I know there's events going all over the place. And you will see members of the Ukulele Jam there, both in the audience and playing in bands. We believe that music is a force for good, and so we're doing our best to try and raise some money and raise some awareness.
If you would like to help support Ukraine locally, one way of doing so is by attending the musical event Sounds for Ukraine, hosted tonight in the 1865 music venue. The show will start at 6:30 p.m., featuring artists such as Inview and Bash. The money raised will then be split, with half of it going towards the Ukraine Solidarity Campaign and half to the Southampton Polish community. Other news. The council has now invested £160,000 over the next year to install more CCTV cameras around the city. 11 locations have been chosen for the new cameras designed to improve public safety. Meanwhile, Southampton City Council announced an extra £5 million budget to be invested into resurfacing the local roads. The investment comes as part of the road resurfacing project and is expected to help improve 45 roads. Our reporter, Panar Sali, explains the story.
Southampton City Council has announced that there will be improvement plans for the roads closure as an investment plan of £8 million. As you can see behind me, there's a lot of traffic disturbing the area in Charlotte Place, near the St. Mary's. An additional 45 roads will be closed in the future, 2023-2024, so they can improve the area.
The selected areas were identified as having the highest maintenance requirements. Councillor Jeremy Moulton, Deputy Leader of Southampton City Council, said the extra investments is excellent news for all road users in Southampton in daily eco. An announcement is expected later this year regarding Southampton's footways. The city's pothole patrol teams have been on the move and completing the necessary work to fix potholes. According to research, Southampton has the 4th highest amount of online pothole complaints in the country.
And as well as the road improvement scheme, the council has pledged to concrete 1,000 new parking spaces around the city, to be complete by next spring. Southampton now has 3 players in the England squad. Goalkeeper Fraser Forster was called up last night to cover injuries to other players. Also picked were James Ward-Prowse and Kyle Walker-Peters. For full-back Walker-Peters, it is his first call-up. But in his first England press conference, he said he was more than ready to make his debut.
First things first, you'd probably like to make your England debut. And I wonder, when you look at it, there are problems at right back. He's got some injury issues, as you're well aware, and there's only 3 full-backs in this squad. So does that give you the belief and the hope, has the manager said to you at all, whether you might get some game time?
No, we haven't spoken about that. You know, you sort of you get a feel from training. You know, I've been training as a right back, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm just gonna do everything I can to prepare myself to hopefully get that opportunity.
What would it mean to you to make a debut? I mean, look, it's always a standard list of questions we have to ask the new guys that come in. How does it feel to be here? And then what would it mean to you to actually make your senior England debut?
Yeah, it'd mean everything. You know, it's something, you know, you work to as a kid. You know, first starting out in those youth England setups, and eventually getting to the senior team. You know, that's what dreams are made of. So yeah, it would mean everything to me. You know, all the hard work I've put in over the years, being rewarded with that opportunity.
And obviously you've already won a World Cup with England. I just wonder how that experience has helped you, kind of just for here and now, and potentially with other tournaments that you might want to play in the future, whether that's Qatar or wherever. You've kind of been there and done it and seen it. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, you know, playing for the youth teams for me is just as important. You know, representing England, and yeah, you know, I went with the under-20 squad, which won the World Cup. Played left back in that tournament. So yeah, I feel like I'm well prepared in that respect, and yeah, just hope one day I can do it for the senior squad.
That's all from us for now. And for some of us, these guys who have joined me, it really is it. These are the journalism third years, and this is their last news day. Us second years have learned a lot, and we'll miss them. Just time to remind you, you can find all our stories and more online. Head to solentjournalism.co.uk. I'll be back in September, but from these guys, it's a goodbye.